Thank you very much. Mr. Temple, if I understand correctly, you got a waiver request in for demonstration projects for Texas within hours of the President signing the law permitting those demonstration projects to come about. Is that right?
Correct. Yes, sir.
And your application was not denied on the basis of any deficiency, but only the fact that it got here before the guidance had been issued by the Department of Labor, which took them, what, less than 2 months to issue, right?
That's what our letter said. We did not realize there was guidance required.
For not having met this or that, but simply said it takes us a few weeks to get the guidance ready. And now that they have their guidance out last Thursday, do you anticipate that Texas will reapply?
We're still looking at the guidance. There are some really burdensome requirements.
What would you say is the most burdensome requirement in the compliance?
At first blush, the individual by individual calculation of weekly benefits and determining what the wage incentive or subsidy would be for each individual. We have approximately 500,000 people in the state receiving unemployment insurance. 290,000 of those are receiving state funded. We plan on serving about 35,000. Technically, we could have to have a different agreement for every claim with each employer.
You don't believe you can make those calculations easily and promptly in order to reapply?
No, sir. I don't think it can be done easily and promptly because it's an individual basis, and then you have to sell it to the employer on an. So I may bring a $200 a month wage subsidy. You may bring $500, and so we have parity now.
You don't envision any problem, for example, with Texas complying with the Fair Labor Standards Act?
We do now.
Right. And you don't envision any problem complying with minimum wage law standards?
We do now.
Right. So a number of the things that have been mentioned here this morning as being burdensome in the guidance are simply a restatement of existing federal law, aren't they?
Well, not the one that I talked about.
Not the one you talked about. That's why I want to identify, because there's been a lot of discussion here this morning about burdensome and delaying, and actually is pretty unusual that you get a guidance out in less than 2 months. But to identify what the specifics are, and many of the specifics that have been mentioned are things that you're already doing and you have no problem complying with, like paying the minimum wage and like complying with Fair Labor Standards Act.
I never cited those as being a hindrance for us.
Actually, it was difficult to tell in some of the written testimony what was being cited, so those were so global. But I'm pleased to hear that that's not a problem in Texas, and I doubt it's a problem anywhere to comply with those. So it is this matter of how one calculates the amount of subsidy that is an issue for you.
That will be an issue for us.
Are there any others?
Well, it doesn't say that you have to do this random assignment evaluation, but that preference will be given or something to that nature. And, we've been running this program for almost 2 years, and we know it works. And it's almost as DOL is saying, okay, we know yours works in practice. We want you to do a study to see if it works in theory. I mean, we're there.
Well, it is the first time that trust funds have been used for a purpose other than paying benefits, and you would expect that in terms of fulfilling its responsibilities as a steward for those trust funds, that there would be some examination of your program, even if it's an award-winning program.
Certainly understand.
And you didn't expect that by applying on day one or almost day one, that you necessarily should be accorded an advantage, even though I'd like Texas to have an advantage over the other 49 states that might choose to apply for only 10 demonstration projects.
We absolutely thought we should have an advantage because we were the first in. Absolutely, we thought we would be. And then I would mention that those trust fund dollars are dollars paid by our employers. They're not federal dollars. They're state dollars. And every dollar we've ever borrowed, we've paid back. We've never missed a benefit. We've never missed a loan. We've paid all of our bonds early. We're retiring the one we currently have early. And
I applaud you for your efforts on that. I hope that you will be able to apply and that Texas will get one of those 10 demonstration projects. And as much as I'd like Texas to always have the advantage, I think clearly the Department of Labor had a basis for putting out a clear guidance. There may be problems with some aspects of it. I'm glad to get a specific rather than just the rhetoric we've heard so far. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.